Welcome back everyone. Following a big win over Minnesota, the Lakers were able to carry their momentum into tonight, and that resulted in a blowout victory over the Rockets. Now, their starting lineup might not have been able to drop 10 plus points again each, but they really didn't have to, between Anthony Davis scoring 40 and then getting great production from their bench unit. They got more than enough offensive production. I mean, they had 100 points before the fourth quarter even started, and while I know we're talking about playing the Rockets here, that is still very impressive nonetheless. We cannot forget about what happened the last time they played the Rockets, and they obviously did not want that to happen again, especially with playoff implications on the line. At the moment, they are going back and forth with New Orleans for the 7th seed, and after beating Houston, the Lakers have once again reclaimed it. In addition to that, they are less than one game behind the Clippers, who they happen to play on Wednesday next week, which could end up being the game that decides who avoids the play-in tournament. Before we get too far ahead of ourselves here though, there is a lot to like about their win tonight, and specifically from their offense. At this point, we all know they're elite on defense. That's really not up for debate, but they still have a little ways to go on offense. And in my opinion, they took a big step in the right direction tonight, putting up 134 points with relative ease. And even with LeBron continuing to look for his shot, they have been able to overcome it, and it's not simply from Anthony Davis carrying them either. I mean, don't get me wrong here, the guy had yet another 38 plus point game tonight, which now marks 3 in a row for him, but they are getting great production from their team as a whole. And if we are talking about all-around production, then we cannot go without mentioning Rui Hachimura, who in my opinion, just had his best overall game as a Laker. Not only did the guy put up 22 points in under 25 minutes, but he also grabbed a new season-high 12 rebounds, tied his career high with 3 blocks, and then was second on their team with a plus 22 plus minus rating. In fact, that might have been the best overall game of his young career. I have never seen Rui play a complete game like that one before. He can tend to be a little more focused on offense compared to defense, but something clicked for him against Minnesota, where he put a much bigger focus on playing defense, and that definitely carried over into this game too. Now, the opportunities will come and go for Rui on offense, but if he can make an impact like this on defense, then he will continue to be a major part of their rotation moving forward, and depending on the matchup, will even get more minutes than Jared Vanderbilt like he did tonight. No matter what way you want to look at it though, Rui Hachimura had a huge game for them, and I'm really looking forward to watching him do more of this moving forward. It would not be fair to expect him to have a defensive performance like this one again, but if he can replicate this effort and energy, then he will be a huge piece for them in both the regular season and come playoff time too. For a final look at the numbers though, the Lakers were elite around the rim, shooting an absolutely absurd 55.9% from the field, and then getting to the free throw line 28 times. In addition to that, they had 35 total assists to only 5 turnovers. Again, I know they're playing the Rockets here, but that is great no matter who their opponent is. With all of that being said though, I will let you hear from the Lakers about their win tonight, and after listening, let me know your takeaways from their win in the comments down below.
Good start with Russell. Just what do you have on his foot at this point, and kind of what was that discussion to decide to hold him out of the second half?
Yeah, it was definitely precautionary. Just a little left foot soreness. Flared up a little bit. He could have continued the game if we needed him to, but we just got the bodies we have available to us now. We didn't want to risk it, so just decided to hold him out, and then he'll be evaluated. We'll see how he feels in the morning.
Got it. Darvin, that's 3 straight games with at least 38 for AD, 0-9, 65% from the field, a lot in the paint. What have you seen from him on this trip? As he kind of mentioned, a lot of these are get-back games, and he seems to be pretty locked in.
Just coming out with a focus, a sense of urgency, the energy, the effort. We always said we want to get stronger as the season gets longer and be playing our best basketball at the right time. Well, the time is definitely right. And everybody's in a good rhythm. And starting with him first and foremost, he understands wholeheartedly what we need him to do, and he's coming out and trying to do that, on an individual basis. But playing within himself, playing the game the right way, really not trying to force anything and definitely not settling, just being in attack mode the entire time. So it's great. And that energy and that rhythm is trickling down to the rest of our roster.
Davis, so third straight road game of at least 38 points for you. You're doing it on 65% shooting. Where's that rhythm coming from, and how locked in are you right now?
Just having fun playing the game. I know what's at stake for us, and trying to do my part as one of the leaders of the team. My job is to go out there and make everybody else's job easier with my scoring and defense and rebounding. So the more aggressive I am coming out, the game opens up for everyone else on the team, and that's what I try to do. Come out with an aggressive mindset and try to dominate each possession.
Clearly, you guys are locked into the games right now, but with each win, your positioning improves some, right? A pretty solid lead right now in the seventh. Still a shot to go up from there to get a guaranteed playoff spot. How are you managing those two things, playing the game that night and then also thinking about that bigger picture?
Control what we control. Every time we step on the floor, we control our own destiny. We go out and win basketball games and let the rest take care of itself. We can't control what other teams do, but we control us going out playing with a sense of urgency, playing with effort, playing with energy, and collecting basketball wins. So the more we do that, the better chance we have of putting ourselves in a position to not be not to be in the play-in tournament.
So D'Lo doesn't play in the second half. We'll see what happens with him. Dennis steps in. You guys have seemed to find some cohesion, though, already, just by having you and LeBron with some of these new pieces back together. How is that coming together at this point?
It's good. Like I said, we have a very high IQ team. And when D'Lo goes out, Dennis obviously played those minutes before, when D'Lo was out, them starting minutes. So he come back in and lead the charge. And then, Bron's, getting back after missing 5 to 6 weeks. So he's still finding the rhythm, triple-double tonight. So we're locked in. Everybody in the locker room wants to win. Everybody wants to get to the playoffs and make a run. So, we're finding our groove right now at the right time. So we just got to keep it going.
Some of the momentum building, you said, well, yeah, but you got to take it one game at a time, certainly. How does that feel, though, now? Another game, another good performance, AD, another 40, Rui, things clicking.
Game ball definitely go to Rui for sure. I mean, he was all over the floor, not only offensively, but defensively. Couple big-time blocks, rebounding out his position. AD was AD. AD's been on the tear, and then the rest of us, we just try to fill in and make up. So big-time game for us, and we want to try to continue it.
Darvin and AD said that kind of part of what's special about you, and actually, Austin said that you'll just sort of figure out within the course of the game what you need to emphasize. All right, what was that tonight, and what is that with this new group, with the lineup, with the guys you have coming off the bench?
For me, each game can be different. If my scoring is needed, and I can look to score more. Tonight, I felt like it was more of a facilitating game, especially with D'Lo being out in the second half. But we got to go on early. My guys was running the floor. They was making big-time shots. I wanted to find AD early and often. So, I kind of focused my game on just getting, guys available, getting guys pass on time on target, try to rebound out of position, make a couple buckets as well. But definitely was a facilitating game for me, just reading the game the right way.
You've spoken highly of Rui the last 2 games. What have you seen out of him? Last game, this game, that's so beneficial for you guys?
Well, I think he's a rhythm player. And, when he knows he's going to play and he's going to get a significant amount of minutes off the bench, I think he could be, really, really good for us. And I think, Coach Ham has done a great job over the last couple of games, including the coaching staff, of finding a rotation that's been fitting our team. And Rui has been one of the first guys off the bench, and, we look for him. We know what he's capable of. I mean, at his size, there's not many guys at his height and his size and his equipped build to be able to guard him on the offensive end. But tonight he was very assertive, and that's why we went to him more and more and more.
Rui, we just asked AD kind of about your game. He said that the defensive end stood out the most. You had 3 blocks, getting on the glass. Was it a certain point of emphasis for you tonight, and coming off the Minnesota game as well?
Yeah, I think me and the coaches been talking about defense, this whole time, since I got here, Lakers, and, they really wanted me to play defense. They want me to impact on the defense side. So, I've been watching a lot of film with the coach, and I think it's been great for me. I've been learning a lot of stuff, and just watching AD, how to, how to like timing the block shots and stuff, and like it's just like it's been great, for me. Yeah.
And then just the connection that you have with LeBron. There were several times that you guys connected on the offensive end of the court. What is his coming back from his injury? What does that help you with on the floor?
I think me and him can connect a lot because because him too, but like I like to run the floor, so like he likes to, he needed somebody to run the floor with him too, so I think me and him can connect in those sides, and then even the on the half court too, we I can be physical, I can shoot threes and stuff, so I think it's a good fit for me. Yeah.
Have you found a level of playing harder as the time you've spent more time with the Lakers? Like, do you feel like you're playing? It looks like you're playing harder.
I think it's more like I'm start getting the rhythm. That's the one thing. Because once I get in the rhythm, I can kind of read the game. So I can move faster. I can kind of get in the position. Getting more be physical. I don't have to kind of pause for a second. So I think that's the helping me.
So some of that's just a recognition of what you're asked to do. Once you have that embedded in your brain, then you can just play.
Yeah, exactly. I don't have to think about it. I just kind of, I already know I'm in the rhythm. So in the flow. So like I can be, I can play harder. Being aggressive.